Another worst week for the trucking industry. I have no clue what is gonna happen because day by day it's getting worse and worse. I have no clue. I haven't seen trucking industry like this in the past 10 years. This is the worst year for the trucking industry. Worst year.
Oh no, this is much worse.
Well, if you haven't seen, the trucking industry, truck drivers in general, are not having a good 2025, guys. Listen, I talked about how 2025 is going to be a rough year for layoffs, for the economy, just away, trying to buy a home. It's going to be tough, guys, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. So truck drivers and truck driving jobs, of course, they're having a hard time. We're starting to see these layoffs start to happen. Even though that they're small, they're 250, 300, 400, 500 truck drivers being laid off. And with the way that the tariffs are going, it's not looking good. My name is Orlando. Welcome to the channel, guys. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help out the channel, guys. Also, I have a newsletter. Yes, a newsletter. And it's free. How can you be free? You can't. And then also, too, if you need any type of financing that deals with commercial financing or investment financing, I am your guy. I've been a lender for almost 20 years, and I can assist you with that. And that information is in the pinned comment in the description, guys. Let's jump straight into it, guys. This is crazy. It's not like we didn't see this coming. If you've been following the trucking industry, you've known that, it's been a rocky road for the last 2 to 3 years, especially during the pandemic. That's when truck driving was at an all peak high. I mean, everybody wanted to get into trucking. Everybody wanted to become a owner. Everybody wanted to have 300 trucks. It was the new crypto. It was all the rage. And one of the things that I had said back then was, guys, listen, you guys can't believe that this is sustainable.
No, for real, don't play like that.
You believe that people are gonna get paid this high amount of money because we're in a pandemic. Everybody can't do anything. This won't last. And everybody was like, Orlando, you don't know what's happening right now. This is a trucking revolution. I'll never forget it. Orlando, this is a trucking revolution. You're just mad because we're making the money. Is that right? Is that what I'm mad about? I'm mad that you're making it. I want you to make the money. I'm just here to tell you, you better make the money fast because that money will end very, very, very soon.
Fact.
Matter of fact, there's a time limit on it. It's when we go back to work. When the pandemic ends is when your money is gonna stop. But instead of stopping, individuals said, Orlando, you're just a little bit too squarish. You're not a risk taker.
You don't know.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And I said, hey man, do what you do. I can't stop nobody from starting a trucking business. You called me and asked me for my advice. And I gave it to you. And you said, I believe, you know what? I appreciate that. Orlando, I really appreciate that. But I'm gonna go out here and be a millionaire tomorrow. See ya.
Bye. See you when I see you. Goodbye.
See, the point that I'm trying to make here, guys, is that look how fast things turn. Look how fast things just turn around in the industry. And at one point, you can believe that the industry is untouchable. Now, let me guess. I can almost guarantee the veteran truck drivers were like, oh, we saw this coming. But it was the tons of new guys coming in. Tons of new guys that really believed we're going to make millions. We're going to make hundreds of thousands. My first year, I'm going to be making so much money, I won't know what to do with it. See, I tell people if it's too good to be true, it probably is. And I say this over and over and over. And a lot of times people believe that I'm just trying to crush their dreams. They believe that, Orlando, you're trying to take something away from me. No. I'm actually trying to save you. Because someone telling you with no experience, you're going to come out the gate making $100,000 plus. No experience, no nothing, no money up front, nothing. you're going to make $100,000 today, and you get to work when you want to work. So now truckers are in a position right now, again, where they believe that for whatever reason, listen, the logic is beyond me. It's beyond me. They believe that the tariffs wouldn't have an effect on trucking. And they believe that, actually, for whatever reason, it was going to bring more business. Did you hear me? More business to trucking. And, listen, logic is something that, I get. Not everyone sees things the exact same way. So I totally get it. So what happened after that? Well, Trump came in and said, you know what, guys, I'm going to go ahead and give you a solid. I'm going to go ahead and sign an executive order that will make sure that only English drivers are able to participate in trucking.
¡Ay, el mundo es loco!
U.S. truck drivers will need to prove English proficiency under new executive order. That means you have to write, read, and understand English.
Do you speak any English?
Now, while I understand everyone coming out here saying, Orlando, you don't know what this is going to do for us, okay? I need you to listen to us really quickly. We're going to get raises. We're English speakers. We're Americans. They're going to need us.
Amazon, UPS, FedEx, they're going to hire us because they need Americans. They need U.S. speaking individuals.
Sensational.
First of all, how are you going to enforce this? That's just what I want to say. But let's just say that they are able to enforce it. You really trust these companies? You really trust that these companies are going to pay you more when they can pay others less? Let me say this one more time. Do you really believe that these companies, that these trucking companies will pay you more when they can pay them less?
Come on, man!
It's a tough time being a truck driver. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just heard some news. A trucking company called LTI Services just completely shut down. 250 trucks, about 300 trailers, just completely shut down out of nowhere. Now, obviously, 250 drivers are gonna be out of a job. They need to scramble to look for a job. But here's the thing is, when I was looking at it, reading the article, I was telling myself, why didn't they downsize, right? Why just completely shut down? Obviously, we understand they're losing money, but there are other alternatives where you don't need to shut down. You just downsize. Instead of having 250 trucks, maybe have 50 trucks. It's manageable. But to completely shut down operations, obviously we only know from the outside, me reading the article, but man, 250 drivers.
This is not funny!
I know what some of you guys are thinking, 250, that's not really that much. When you look at it, that it's happening multiple times. Also too, 250 people, that is still 250 people that are losing their jobs. That regardless of the fact that individual still feels like, what am I gonna do?
We have a problem!
And then the gentleman stated that why didn't they downsize? And I'm not talking particularly about this company, this group. I'm just talking about in general. During the pandemic, we had a ton of people that came into the trucking industry. And I saw this particularly from other trucking channels. I saw it in the news. You see it everywhere. When Yahoo Finance is doing a story on young ladies getting into the trucking industry, buying a brand new truck, starting their own company and all this other stuff, and saying that they're going to add on 3 to 4 to 5, 10 trucks, then they're going to start their own trucking company. It's gotten crazy. The industry reached an all-time high, and the word through the grapevine was you can make easy money in trucking.
Easy green.
And not only that, but you can make a ton of money. So making a ton of easy money, oh man, that is a recipe for success. At least for scam artists, at least for fake gurus. For the real people are, the squares. The people who are actually in the industry, right? They scratch their head and they go, you're gonna fall for that?
Don't be a fool.
So while we're seeing a ton of people complain about how loads are low, how the industry is different, how it's a lot of turnover in the industry. The reason why you're seeing all of this is because you have a lot of people that came in the industry, again, who thought that it was going to be easy. You don't believe me? Let me go ahead and show you what 2 to 3 years ago, what people were watching. They were like, this is it.
Mikael Sant is only 19 years old and he's already a self-made millionaire. How did he do it?
I started a trucking company from scratch, and in 3 months we did $159,000 in revenue.
Oh. And look, they really got y'all with that. They got you with the hook. Oh man, a 19-year-old who started a multi-million-dollar business. Let me repeat that. A 19-year-old. Let's work through the logical thinking. Let's just work through it. A 19-year-old is teaching you how to run a trucking business.
Something ain't right.
I'll wait. Tell me in the comment section why you thought this was a good idea to pay this man $5,000 to $10,000 to teach you something that is, he's 19. He's 19 years old. And listen, if you know anything about teenagers, you're telling me you're going to give them $10,000? You're going to give them $10,000 to teach you about a whole industry? But it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there because it wasn't enough. This is what people were falling for back then. They were like, oh, yeah, it must be true. Let's go ahead and lease a bunch of trucks. Let's go ahead and start, open up an LLC, and I'm just going to be a millionaire.
Use your common sense.
Oh no, but listen, we're not gonna let these people off the hook that easy. We've got to go to the next one. Probably one of the most egregious situations that happened in the trucking industry. Trucking guru stage, where individuals were falling for this guru who said, I make $100 million a year off of trucking. Which,
What?
100 million, really? She should have started at a million. She should have started at $1 million. 100 million? Come on. Listen, you don't have to take my word for it. Let's go ahead.
I found a fake guru telling you that she's made $100 million, but what she hasn't told you is she can't afford rent. Black Queen makes over $100 million in trucking without a driver's license. Her brand is the Trucking Guru. She claims to own 140 trucks. After a little digging, I think this fake guru might not be telling the truth.
Oh, did you end up having to do like any jail time or anything?
Yes.
Oh, talk to us about that.
I mean, but that's why I do this. Like, I'm a felon, so I know what it's like to not be able to actually make good money.
Hold up.
I mean, let's get real. I mean, isn't that a prerequisite? As far as you have to be a criminal to understand business, at least that's what these guys tell you. You've had to do a couple of years of fraud before you understand how business is really done. And these guys are believing this. This is a lady who is telling you she made 100 million, which is unbelievable from just 100 million. And then she tells you, oh, the way I did it was I went to jail.
I'm a felon.
Let me tell you what, if you have a friend or a person or you yourself, and you're one of these individuals who says, I mean, it's not capital murder. I mean, you're going to only serve 4 years versus 25 years. See, this is what I say to individuals like this, is that, hey, listen, everybody has their own journey. Everybody has their own journey. My journey, Orlando Miner's journey, and I would hope your journey too, does not include prison time. That's where you need to separate from individuals. If a person's journey has prison time in it, then you probably need to go the other way. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I mean, who does finance, who follows the law? No, nobody cares about that. I know, I'm a square. I get it. I follow the rules. I get it. I totally understand that. I'm just saying, if your journey already has prison baked into it, you may want to go find other friends or a different mindset. That's all I'm saying.
So, and when did you start accumulating these trucks? What year was it
I've
when
been
you
in the
got
industry for
truck
over
one?
20 years. Next question.
Over 20, so over the span of 20 years.
I've been in the industry for over 20 years.
20 years.
I've been doing this before the Trucking Guru.
All right.
Next.
So you started about 20 years ago
Next.
accumulating the 140.
Next.
All right. I'm gonna get there. Give me 1 second. I write slow, so you gotta bear with me. All right. So
Write faster.
you said that, I believe in an interview, you said 4 years ago. So I think that gets us around the 2018-ish range.
So let me correct y'all on that, because that's
go ahead.
That's a clip from the interview where they said we heard, not you told us,
right?
But we heard you were touching close to 100 million. Is that true?
Right. And what was your answer?
That was 4 years ago.
So 4 years ago would have been around what year?
That was 4 years ago. You smart, do the math. That was 4 years
ago.
Well,
I was about to, then you stopped me. So I just want to make sure
it was 4 years ago when I actually posted this on my page.
Okay. So around 2018-ish.
You know how to do math. Go ahead. Next.
Okay. All right. Yep. I went to school for it. All right. So
act like it.
At around that time, they have records of you having several evictions.
Several
evictions. So you had around $100 million.
More than that, actually. But go ahead.
More than that. But you also had several evictions on your record.
Yes.
Did you hear that? I had $100 million, but I also had evictions.
Wait, what?
You don't have to be a smart man or a smart lady to understand that those two things don't go together. You know, it's very easy to understand and go, something ain't right. Something ain't right. I just need people to have that same energy before you give $10,000 to the person. Before all of these red flags were in your face to begin with. And again, we're talking about this new group of people that came into the trucking industry that are now just finding out that individuals like this that they were learning the game from. Individuals like this that they said that this individual is an expert in the industry. Come to find out, they're not an expert in the industry. They're just as new in the industry as you, but you're paying them $5,000 to $10,000. And now you're in the industry right now and you're saying, well, the industry sucks. The industry sucks. I don't know, Orlando, it's changed. Well, of course it's changed. You had everybody and their mom jump into trucking and then realize, oh, snap, they're not going to pay me the same amount for the loads that they did when the pandemic was happening? Oh, no.
Oh, no. No, 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 no. Oh, no. No, 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 no.
And then now, unfortunately, as I'm hearing from other truck drivers, that these newer truck drivers are just taking anything. They're taking low-paying loads because that's the only thing that they can take. And here's one thing that I can say. The trucking industry is probably one of the first group of individuals to really see, because it hits the ports, it hits the retailers, it hits the truck drivers. They start to see when there's this pullback. And trust me when I tell you this, that it's gonna get worse before it gets better. Listen to me, it's going to get worse before it gets better. I know UPS is telling you guys we're still hiring after they laid off 20,000 people. I know FedEx is telling you, guess what? It's gonna be the best year ever. But in the back office, they're saying something else. All of these huge trucking companies are telling you, listen, we just need you to work with us, because on the other opposite end, you're gonna have a payday. You're gonna have the best years in trucking that you can imagine. I would say, believe that with caution. Of course you can hope that. Of course you can want that. But what is it currently telling you right now? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So as always, guys, if you like videos like this, then go ahead and go to the Patreon, guys. We have exclusive content over there. You will love it. And as always, guys, you won't get all of your information from this one video. I need you to watch this video right here. Yes, this one right here. It will give you information on the housing market, financial news, and get you into your first rental property. The information you will get from that video, you will love it. See you in the next one. Thanks.